Hello and welcome. We got a new spawn spawning in. I want to show you how easy or how hard it is, whichever way you want to word it, is starting off in a new spawn. What I do when I start off, where I go and what I check. This video is pretty much for new beginners, although this is on a pretty hardcore server. But it is a PvE server. So guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little timeline in the bottom as well of the video, because I'm not going to show everything about how long it took to find certain things. Just so you get a rough idea as well of obviously how quick and how fast I'm going through things. So to starting off then, obviously I'm a new spawn. If you're not playing on the modded server, you've got the app that you can use to check where you are, but I'm on a modded server, so the first thing I'm going to do is check the map. And as you can see, I'm near Berezino. So what I'm going to do, we are on a winter server, obviously, as you can tell, because it's snowing. But just for you didn't know, so I'm going to check the buildings pretty much that I can see straight off, okay? The other thing I'm going to check is these boats. These boats will also have bags, which we've got a bag, and sometimes they'll have food near them, or drink, or something that you can start off with. Not always, but as you can see, we did find a bag there straight away. Now the first town and everything is important. What you want to do really is make, especially in a server like this, what we're going to have to do is get a fire going. You're going to have to try and keep warm. Make our way to the nearest buildings and do some looting. Obviously we need to get some stuff to protect ourselves. Now like I said, I'm on a PvE server, but it's not an easy PvE server. So there are more bears, more wolves, etc., more zombies. So it's important really that we start off pretty well. As you can see, I've taken, it's my own server, I'm not going to lie, so it's a custom made server that I'm just opening up. But as I wanted to test what it's like to start off, I thought that it would be best just to do this at the same time so I can see what's spawning in, and it gives you a general idea. So you can see we've picked up a bottle from inside the greenhouse. We can also get food from inside there as well. Sharpening stone, so we're going to take that. We're going to check the trees for fruit. As you can see, there was a plum there then, but it's a damaged plum, so we're not going to pick that up. That's something that we're not going to want. And now it's time to start looking for anything that can either warm us up or protect us. We're going to take the shotgun shells. Don't need that at the moment. So what we're looking for now, because this is a server that I'm going to build a base on, etc., I want to start getting base materials as well. So whereas you saw my, I don't know if you did see, I'm saying where you saw, if you saw my old, my last video about how to start off and best items, etc. Oh, boom, we got a machete, that's good. With that now we can actually get some wood. But if you did see my last video, I left a lot of stuff behind. We're going to get peppered seeds as well, so we can grow some peppers. And now it's pretty much searching anything that we can make use out of. I've just noticed my water's yellow, so we're going to have to make our way at some point to the nearest well. We're going to have to get water, otherwise, regardless of the cold, that's going to get us. So we've got a knife. A machete's a decent knife to have as well. It's quite heavy duty. We've got a bag that we can store stuff, which is always good. Now I've only been playing, I'm just looking at the recording, I've been playing about 5 minutes. So we haven't done bad in 5 minutes. What I want is a well. So we're just going to check the shed out and I'm going to look for a well unless we come across some sort of fluid. Either coke, water. The water I just picked up from there I can't drink. Now I like disinfecting in all my bottles, etc., so you don't get sick. I mean, you can, I have seen people and I've done it myself. Oh, another steak knife, so knives are spawning quite well, so that's a good thing. The more they spawn in, obviously, the more you can, knife, I've said this in my last one, it was one of my top 5s, knife is a must-have. And as I was quite rightly pointed out by Stu in the last video as well, you can create the knife by combining 2 stones. That's something I forgot about making the last video, and probably cost me about 25 minutes, I'd say, running around looking for a knife. Now one thing I've noticed at the moment, there isn't any zombies. Now I don't know whether that's because my types files aren't right, or whether at the moment I just haven't run across them. I have got them set up so they do spawn in clusters pretty much. Sunglasses, not required. Jumpsuit pants. You know what, we're going to change these then. These are damaged. They're pristine, so we're going to get them on. So that's a bit better, they're a bit longer as well. Okay, so we've got a medium tent. We're going to take the tent, because I am looking at doing a base and stuff, so I'll pick up the tent. But I'm going to be honest, if I find other things, like that tent might well be sacrificed. At the minute, the tent isn't the most important thing. So running shoes, what condition of mine? Mine are pristine, but again, I'm going to pick these up as a spare. You can sort of get the gist of what I'm doing here, okay? So I'm picking that up as a spare. might not necessarily keep it. If I come across something in better shape, then I will take. If I come across something more I need, obviously I'll take these. But I always like to have them on me and I can ditch them, as opposed to need them in 20 minutes time and can't remember where they spawned in. So I'm gonna have to look for a well. How far's the closest well? So to leave a marker on that well, just need to double click it. Okay, and as you can see, Stu, brain dead as he is in game, just messaged me on a bit later on, so we'll catch up with him in a bit. I might do some recording with Stu as well. We do have a little plans for doing a few collaborations. Airdrop for definitely good way. Okay, cheers Stu. So I have put airdrops on this one. We're going to swap the mountain bag now, because that bag has 63 slots where the mountain bag has 80. So again, pretty much like I just did, we're going to pick things up, and as and when we need them, we're going to swap them for better things. And I'm doing this all on the way to... Okay, then there's a few zombies there. I'm doing all of this on the way to the well. I don't really want to come across a horde of zombies at the minute because I'll get stuck. So I'm a little bit concerned about that at the minute. How far am I from... I'm not far from the well. I know where the well is now. So we're going to take care of this guy. Hopefully I'll have some food on him. Or her, I should say. Right, so that's dealt with. Right, okay, you can see my temperature's dropping as well, so at some point I'm going to need to light the fire. At the moment, I don't think I got anything on me to light the fire with. And there's a bear there. Uh-oh. Back away, not today. Is he coming after me? Shit, that was close. That was close. Now I've got the more bears, more wolves mod on, but they're a bit docile. They're not as lethal as other bears. So like you saw there, I can come across them and pretty much get away. But don't get me wrong, them things will kill you just as quick as well. That was really quick. Just running across the snow, there's a bear there. So we got to the well, which is good. So we're going to top up with water. And we're going to take the sewing kit. And I'm also going to fill my bottle of water. And then we're going to look at lighting the fire. Because at the moment, I think we're going to have to sort of stay where we are for the time being. I mean, if you're into games where you just like, sort of into servers where you just want to pretty much press auto run through a town, etc. That's fine. And I don't get me wrong, I have fun doing that as well. But I tend to make servers a little different than that. I like to make them a bit more challenging. I mean, for argument's sake, I was on a friend's server the other day and I literally spent half an hour, yeah, probably about 30 minutes inside a building, and I couldn't move because the amount of zombies outside. I had to wait for them to go. If not, I would have died. Now that's not everyone's. No, that's not everyone's thing. I get that. People just like running around shooting up, and I get that as well. But I like to be a bit more stealthy. And there's a zombie somewhere. I'm saying stealth, and I'm just getting caught up by a zombie. Right, so we're going to take this zombie out of the equation, and then we're going to try and look at making a fire. Right, so we've got a can of Sprite. I need some matches or something to light the fire with. We're going to take the saw again. Like I said, I know I'm picking up a few building materials and stuff at the minute. The good thing about them docile bears as well is that they don't drop off any meat. You can swap them for the real bears, which number one are quite obviously tougher to kill and they're a bit faster, and they probably would have killed me then. Well, not probably, they would have killed me then. But my food is struggling, so I'm looking now. Right, okay, so we got an apple. Check the trees, guys. Always check the trees, especially starting off. So we got an apple. We're going to check the greenhouse as well. I do believe that we've already started with a plum, and we've got a potato which is damaged. We're going to leave that behind. Be wary because the bear. Alright, the bear's down there. Okay, that's fine. Fire I'm more concerned with, but there's not much I can do. Get bark. I don't want bark. I want logs. Flashlight we're going to take. Another sharpening stone we're going to take. On this server as well, just in case you see me picking up a lot of things you probably wouldn't. Another pair. Happy days. Another pair. 2 pairs. Brilliant. That's going to save me a bit. Pipe wrench, that can stay behind for the time being. Is that another apple? Damaged. No worries. What about this? Damaged. So you get the gist, yeah? I'm checking trees. I'm checking for food, any food and stuff, so I'm yellow. So I'm going to get inside at the moment. I'm not going to light the fire at the minute because I've got nothing to light it with. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to eat. So as you can see, right, I'm going to cut that bit out. I'm not actually going to just show you me eating, but I've just sat in that 2 pears, 2 apples, etc. Disinfectant spray, and use that for my water bottle. What I need is something to start a fire with. Fire. As you can see, my health is still dropping. I'm starting to get a little bit concerned now about... And there's zombies up there. I went up there just now, didn't I? Yeah, there's a zombie. I'm starting to get a little bit concerned now about fires. We're going to need to light a fire. Oh, get in. Happy Days matches. Do you know what? I'm not surprised to find them. I have upped matches and things like that. So obviously, and I'm going to be dead. Okay, so we got her in here nice and safe. I'm going to have to light the fire, but what's worse is the zombies out there. Obviously being Dayz, so I need to get wood from the trees before I can light the fire. I'm going to need to light the fire, so I've been out to get firewood as well. What I'm going to do now is craft a fireplace. In fact, can you just add it to these now? You can. You can just place it in this. You don't need a craft one anymore, so that's good. So I'm just going to add it to this. I think that's new for the update. You used to have to craft fireplace and then place them inside here. So I'm going to add the bark to it as well. We're then going to get this lit. Chuck some rags in there as well. Where's our matches? Now hopefully our health should generate. And this is what this server is going to be about, really. It's going to be about doing exactly this, really, trying to survive. Obviously, you know, you can see how difficult it's been. We haven't done much and our health was down. Granted, I've managed to restore it a little. But I mean, from the sake of coming in here and realising I didn't have firewood, it's been about 10 minutes for me to go and get firewood and stuff and get my health back up a little bit. So I'm going to disinfect the bottle now. You can see my health is still going down, and the blue flame, get my words out in the end. The blue heat indicator obviously still means I'm freezing. So I'm going to need to get some decent clothes. I wonder. Oh, I picked the pepper up. Is it? Oh, rotten, pristine and rotten. Okay, so we're not going to want to eat that. We'll chuck that away. That's a bit of a blow, but I still got an apple there, so we're going to eat the apple. And now we're going to get as close to this fire as we can. Okay, so now this is how close you have to be for the fire in this server for it to go up, for the heat to go up. You can see now I've gone up to 3. Okay, my health is still going down though, so I'm not really sure what more I can do at the moment. Apart from just stand here. We might need to go and get some more bark and some more logs as well. Okay, so now my heat has stopped flashing. I'm just going to say, right, this has been 4.5 minutes now. I'm sorry if my voice went off, but then I was looking at the clock. It's been 4.5 minutes now of me just sat here. That's the sort of extent you've got to do to stay alive on this server. So once it goes blue, you're okay. Once it starts flashing, you're in trouble. Once your health starts going down, it takes a lot to build it back up. A top tip as well to use, just when we're sitting here pretty much doing nothing, is just to, if you're that new and you're starting off in Dayz and you don't know what you're doing, just stick to one little part first. Get as much loot as you can, get as much food as you can, etc. If you're on a server like I am on a winter server, get as much fuel as you can, as in logs, bark, sticks, etc. Things to keep lighting fires with. And again, I'm going to repeat what I said earlier. If you just want to run around shooting zombies and not worry about this sort of part of it, then you know this server that I'm on now isn't the one for you. But this is just a general how to start off, the things you need to be looking for. So the things that we've been looking for so far, pretty much trees for apples. That's going to be a common one on all servers. You're looking at greenhouses for any food, peppers, fruit, or water bottles, etc. Canteens. Then you're going to be looking inside the houses or shed for things like steak knives, machetes, and then any sort of building tools you can get. they're the main sort of things I look for starting off. I mean, if you go through my inventory now, I've been recording now for 28 minutes. I've been recording for, and that's the sort of stuff I've picked up to start with. Now, shoes are always a good one in case these wear out, to have a spare set. If not, as has happened to me on a previous server when I first started playing the game, my feet were bleeding, and I literally had to sit and stay inside a building for about 20 minutes while a mate went to find shoes. The other sort of stuff I've started picking up is things you're going to need. So disinfectant, I always disinfect my water bottles. You can get fresh water. Anything to do with drinking food. I've got a sewing kit, which I'm going to use for obviously repairing my clothes at the minute because they're damaged, etc. I picked up a small tent or a medium tent, and just to show you the size of these tents, there you go, that's the size of the tent. So in that tent you can store things, but obviously we're not going to set that up just yet. We're going to keep that for later. And then we've got some building materials, i.e. hammer, saw, etc. So that's the sort of stuff I got. We got some peppers if I want to start growing some peppers and stuff later. I think they're peppers. Yeah, pepper seeds, and they're pristine, so obviously we can grow, but at the moment we haven't got anything to grow with, as in a shovel or pickaxe or anything that we can actually create that with. But my health is going back up. Again, this is costly time, guys. This isn't like a 5-minute thing. I've been here now for 10 minutes. Just sat here waiting. What I'd recommend doing maybe is getting a base close to a woods. I mean, if you look on the map now, okay, you get a base close to the woods somewhere. All these dark areas are wooded areas, and then you've got constant logs and things. But you are going to need things like axes and hatchets, etc., so we can go and get this firewood. And Yogi's still out there. He's enjoying his day. One mod I might add on here is a mate made a mod with polar bears instead of normal bears, so that might be on. That might be going on soon. So when that fire's going, a good way of checking where you are as well, you can actually see smoke coming out of the roof, out of the chimney. So what we're going to do when that fire's lit, we are just going to roughly run around and have a quick check in the other buildings, knowing as well now that we can run back to that fire if we need to. And obviously we can, we're going to get that coat. Absolutely get that coat. So that's going to help. Yeah, so we're going to run back to that fire if we need to. We know it's there. A couple more logs wouldn't go amiss. But this would be my recommendation on a server like this. Get a fire going, something that you know where it is. Like I said, even if you're in a city or something, you can see the smoke come in. I don't think it's going to go out in a hurry. It shouldn't despawn. And then that gives you the opportunity then just to go search a few other buildings for a couple of other items like food or any building supplies. Like I said, knowing that you can run back to that place and you're not going to have to wait for the fire to heat up, etc. So there's nothing about at the moment. Slim pickings. Another rotten pear. Multivitamin pills, going to take them. It'll stop you getting a cold, or certainly help you out with a cold. So I hope you get the gist about how to start off on the server. You know, every server is going to be different. And I'm not going to lie, this server, the one I'm on now, is a little tricky. It shouldn't be as hard. It shouldn't be as hard as it is for me on this one on a normal server. I mean, this server is set up because I wanted to make a sort of hardcore server. So this server is set up to be slightly more difficult and slightly based more around survival, as opposed to sitting in the military camp just shooting up Zeds. But you can see now from that we've got a few more bits and pieces, a few more pieces of fruit. Going to go back now. Our health is still on the way up, so our fire is still going. We're just going to add our 2 bits of bark to it that we picked off, and again eat some of the fruit. Again, you see the point with the knives as well, just going back to the knives, how important they are. I know this might not be an all guns, all blazing video, and it wasn't designed to be. I mean, it's a video that's going to, hopefully, if you're looking to start Dayz, or maybe looking to progress into a slightly more harder server where you've got to think about survival a bit more than running around, and you'll gain something from this. And obviously on this server as well, you haven't got it's a PvE server, so you haven't got the risk of somebody coming in and shooting you. Although I do like PvP, I'm not going to lie. This is a PvE server. So we're going to go out and take the zombie on. Lockpick, not required. Where'd he go? Well, I can hear him, but I can't see him. Oh, there it is. One thing I've noticed in this as well is I've taken one hit by a zombie, then straight away your health points down. It's really quick at dropping on this new update. I don't know whether it's because it's I mean, I've only played 1 or 2. Oh, and I got a flare. That's great. We'll keep that as well. I can start a fire again. So guys, that's the basic start. I'm going to sort of end the video here. You can see I've got now 30 odd minutes I've been on the server for, and that's what I've picked up. I've got food. I've got a couple of bottles to get water. I'm not far from a well, so if I just press the map button, you can see that I'm right by a well. Okay, the well is there, but it's not far at all. They're the essentials: food, water. I've changed my t-shirt. I've got a coat on. I've got a couple of knives, and I got things to light a fire with, and I got some multivitamin tablets if you get a cold. So if you have picked anything up from this video, great. Like I said, if you've watched all the way through, then that's fantastic. Hit the sub button and the like button and follow the series, and I've got other Dayz videos coming up. I've got different plans for a few videos coming up, including like my best favourite weapons and melee weapons, etc. But that's for the future. But guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.